Hello everyone. Go ahead and share it out. Be live here in about 2 minutes or so. So go ahead and share it out, guys. All right. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well this evening. Oh, wrong way. There we go. So yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. We got a lot of stuff going on actually. Today was kind of a big day. There's always a lot going on. Let me move this over here so I can see what's going on. Read some of the comments. I'm trying, guys, to get Facebook comments to come up here as well. There's the YouTube super chat one. I don't even know if that works, but this one works. This is what we got. If you guys want to go ahead and share it out. But as you can see in the title, there's a few things we want to talk about. The first one is this whole thing with Jeff Sessions and the DOJ. They're suing California, pretty much. That's what's happening here due to their obstruction of allowing people to the ICE agents and the federal agents to do their job. So they've essentially done things to purposely cause them to not be able to do their job. Excuse me, just want some water there. So yeah, thanks for sharing it, Cindy. I appreciate that. And everybody who's out there right now. In fact, let me just jump over here real quick, guys, and see. I believe I pulled up. Here we go. So basically, this is what we're talking about right here. So this is about this is the tariffs. This is the tariffs. I have actually, before we go to this, let's actually go over here, and I'm going to play. This is a particular clip from Fox News. They interviewed Jeff Sessions regarding this. So we're going to play it. It's about 3 or 4 minutes. So we're going to pull this up. Here we go.
I don't want to do that. California is a great state with an important part of America. We wanted a healthy and good relationship with it, but federal law determines immigration policy. State of California is not entitled to block that activity. Somebody needs to stand up and say, no, you've gone too far. You cannot do this. This is not reasonable. It's radical, really. It's an affirmation, if you want to know the truth, of the idea that we should not have immigration laws, that we should have an open borders. Because whenever anyone is apprehended, it seems that we have persons who want to block their removal from the country no matter what the circumstances. It's an extreme position that's being taken by some here, a lot of the government agencies here, and we just have to push back. I wish it weren't so, but it is.
And your message basically this morning was, we're not asking state and local authorities here to help us.
We're demanding that the state and local officials go out and do the work of the federal government. We'd like their help. Most states and jurisdictions around the country help happily, but we just cannot allow them to obstruct or block the ability of federal officers to do the job they are lawfully required to do.
All right, let's talk about some of the reaction. Not surprising. Governor Brown says Jeff Sessions has come to California to further divide and polarize America. The Attorney General here, Javier Becerra, said essentially this is a B-rated movie.
I don't know what Mr. Becerra means by that, but he has repeatedly threatened businesses in California, telling them he will prosecute them under the new California law if they even admit voluntarily ICE officers to their businesses. I mean, this is a radical approach. So I have to challenge this. We can't allow this to happen. We want every state in America to do this. So California has placed us in the position, and the governor, by signing the bill, has placed us in the position where we cannot accept this, and we've got to challenge it. And I made clear today why we were challenging it, why it's important, and why we've got to stop it.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, this of course being her home state, said of the recent ICE raids they were meant to terrorize people. She says it's a shocking abuse of law enforcement power. She claims that half the people who were rounded up have no criminal record and that innocent people are being swept up in these raids.
Many of these people are repeat entrants after having been, before the arrests were to take place. There's nothing wrong about these raids. It's exactly what ICE officers are supposed to do. Why do we have ICE officers? They're just going to sit in their offices and do nothing? So I think Ms. Pelosi is in error totally in her comments.
Of course she is.
It's demeaning to the work of the officers she funds and Congress funds every day. So I'm not happy with that comment, and we're going to push back. And we're going to defend our officers and the honorable work they do every day.
You mentioned the Oakland mayor, Libby Schaaf. She says this: we will continue to exercise our legal right to exist as a sanctuary city. Is there a legal right to exist as a sanctuary city?
Well, it depends on what you mean by a sanctuary city. I don't believe there's a right to do some of the things that are being said now, some of the things that's in the law that we're challenging in court today. So yes, people can have different views on immigration, but you cannot obstruct.
Yeah, so I mean, here we go. He's just basically saying, obviously, the same thing. You can't obstruct. You cannot obstruct the federal agents from doing their job, and that's exactly what they're doing. So I just thought I'd play that little clip there. I found it to be a good little interview to kind of, in addition to watching the entire thing that Jeff Sessions said there, when he spoke publicly and laid everything out. It was about 20-something minutes long, 22 minutes or so. And so I just wanted to play you that one, give you a little bit of synopsis, because basically California is getting what they deserve as far as the government. The people who live there, I feel bad for them. You know, I lived there. I had to get out. I know that there's many people who are from there, who have family there, who have, and so this is like your home. And I get that. And it's unfortunate that it is the way that it is right now. California has been hijacked basically by this extreme left, and they're actually somehow convincing all of these people who live there that this is the proper way to handle things, and people don't realize that the solutions that they give haven't worked over a period of time. So why all of a sudden should we believe that what these alt-left extreme liberals are saying is actually going to solve a problem? Because it's not. And then so moving on to the next thing, and we'll kind of touch on these things again here, but you know what, let me bring this up here. I found this to be outrageous, okay? Because I'm in Florida, and the Parkland massacre, we all know about that. And you can see here, right, 2 Miramar SWAT officers suspended for heading to Parkland massacre. So basically, they went without permission. Okay, when they knew the shooting was going on, they went to go help. Obviously, right? I mean, come on, that's exactly what they should do. That's what they're paid to do. That's their job. But they've been suspended. Okay, which is ridiculous. So this is what they're claiming, that it's an officer safety issue, so on and so forth. And the article keeps going on here. Obviously, I think this is ridiculous. I think anybody would think that this is absolutely ridiculous, but for some reason it's not. So, and then here we have, this is the thing with the tariffs going on. So Trump signed this executive order now where there are tariffs on steel and aluminum coming into the country. It's going to be 25%. Actually, we'll come back to this article for a second. So it's going to be 25% on imported steel and 10% for imported aluminum. Okay, so that's the way that it is. Now, this article that I'm going to pull up here is explaining how countries are able to not have to pay those tariffs, basically. And President Trump called them, reciprocal. Everything has to be reciprocal, and it's a mirror tax, basically, a mirror tariff, because he quoted even Elon Musk, because we all know Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla Motors as well as SpaceX, and Elon Musk even explains, because when he sells one of his cars in China, they charge them, like, I think it's around 25%. It's extremely expensive. And it's not just China, but China is the biggest offender, and they're also the biggest country who, for a long time, has been stealing intellectual property from people from the United States and then selling those products for cheaper back into the United States at little to no tariff to them. So they're basically stealing everything from here. They're reproducing it over there, usually way cheaper, okay, and not just cheaper in the economical sense, but cheaper in the actual products. Okay, I don't know much about steel, but apparently, according to everybody who knows about steel, Chinese steel is cheap garbage. So in this instance, we need to bring the jobs back because they've all left. Because think about it. They could go to these countries, they can get these things produced way cheaper than what it would here, and they can bring those products overseas back to the United States, sell them with really no penalties whatsoever. So there's jobs that have just left this country all across the country. Many places, many states, many cities have just evaporated in some cases. Okay, I mean, like literally, like no one's there because the factories and the things there have shut down. So this is a big deal because this is how it should be. And up until the early 1900s, I cannot think of the year, but off the top of my head, I should know this, but I don't know it. It's when the Federal Reserve was instituted and when the income tax was instituted. Okay, that was early 1900s. Now, up until then, that's how this country survived. If you go back to the founding fathers and all throughout history, tariffs on, in fact, that's what the country was founded on, right? I mean, we were having to pay the taxes on things, and basically that's how this country was founded over taxation. I mean, that is a major portion involved in the founding of this country. So they realized that stuff inside the country, that if it was produced here and sold here, obviously there'd be no tariffs. There would be no taxes on that. But if people were going to sell products into the United States, they would pay tariffs. And that's how it's been. That's how other countries are running. And I really don't, unless you understand that globalism is what they're going for here. They want to really decimate the American economy, and they're doing a great job at doing it by giving other countries massive advantages, and we're basically rebuilding those countries while ours fall apart. So this is a great thing, and I think we're going to see a lot of jobs coming. I mean, I know that there's already a few thousand, but this is only one category, okay? He's going to actually take this into many different categories and expand this idea of tariffs of goods, okay? That whole situation is so fishy. Yeah, I think you were talking about the shooting there, Cindy. I think that's what you were talking about. I'm curious if these are working yet. Oh, it is. Okay, cool. It says anonymous, but look at the cars. Okay, yeah, so that is actually Facebook chat now too, so that's working. So I wonder if this is working. Well, I don't have it up here, but so I guess we'll leave that up there. It says anonymous, so I don't know who's saying I have to look over here to the other screen, but that's cool. So now we got the Facebook chat working. That's awesome. Okay, so let's go back over here now, guys. And I do want to show you also too, where you can follow us in other places. This is our YouTube channel here, so you can just search us up. It's all of our social media for the most part is scrolling along the bottom of the screen here. This is our YouTube channel. I would strongly suggest hit that subscribe button, and if you're already watching from YouTube, make sure that you hit that bell so you don't miss a broadcast or you don't miss an upload. It's if you don't, YouTube makes you jump through all these hoops to be able to see stuff, just like Facebook does, just like all of these other social media platforms. So, okay, so there's that. This is our new Facebook page, guys, because they deleted our old one. We had over 47,000 followers. Facebook deleted our page, and so here we are, new page, and you can see it's at Patriot Media 2. If you're watching this on Facebook and you haven't liked our page, make sure to hit that like button, and also to share it around. This is our Twitter page. We're on Twitter. So it's at JG Patriot Media. You can follow us on Twitter. We're also on Gab as well. I've been trying to get the Gab live stream working tonight, but it doesn't want to agree with me. So we're not broadcasting on Gab on this particular one. For whatever reason, it didn't work. Not sure why. But Gab is free speech, guys. They will not ban your account. They will not suspend you. I mean, if you break the law, that's a different story. But as far as saying what you want to say as a conservative or as anyone really, because they also host a bunch of people that I don't agree with, but they're on there. And they have, like I say, First Amendment's First Amendment, I guess, as long as it's not calling for violence, I guess it's covered. So that's cool, I'm tired of being banned. I'm tired of the censorship. I'm sure all you guys are out there as well. You're probably, everyone's had somewhat of an experience if you speak out about what you believe in and the left doesn't agree. So there's that. This is our Instagram page. We're on Instagram as well, guys. So definitely make sure if you're on Instagram that you follow us. And then this is our Patreon page. This is how you can help us out so we can, because I'm the one who created Patriot Media, so that I can expand this operation and increase the frequency of these videos. That's all done by you guys. This is all you guys make this what it is by watching and sharing and engaging in the conversation and, just appreciating what's done here. And as you can see, we have 106 patrons. Our goal is eventually to get to 1,500, and that's going to take a long time, but that's a goal that I have set that I would like to hit at some point. Obviously, when we get into that category, I'll be able to do this a lot more often, if not full time. So we're just slowly building up, guys, and I really appreciate you guys who have been with us for a long time and really like what we do, and you keep coming back to see what we are doing. All right, so next thing. So the tariffs, right? We talked about the tariffs. I have a little clip over here, which I will show you here, which is him actually signing the executive order. So we can watch this for a second. That's a real president right there. For the people. This is for the aluminum, I think. Yeah, there it is. First one was for steel. Second one's for aluminum. 25% tariff on imported steel. 10%.
You've been waiting for a long time. Sir. There you go. Let's pass it moving.
So 10% on aluminum and 25% on steel.
What's that? You got it. Mike, get up here, Mike. Come on up.
Yeah, so he talked with them. A lot. You could tell there were some speeches by some of them.
Take a picture in the Oval Office, okay? Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're very happy about this.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
I mean, really, everybody who's involved in those industries is happy about this because their jobs are coming back, and they don't have to worry about losing their jobs by more of those industries going overseas. So that's a good thing. I mean, all this stuff that's going on, and Trump has delivered so much within a year, if you think about it. I mean, look, I'm not that old, but I can tell you, I don't remember any president through my lifetime, and I haven't always been as politically active as I am now, or doing anything, obviously, like this, because I just wasn't doing it. But I don't remember any president that I can recall where there's been so many things in the first year that have been accomplished. I'm talking about like getting stuff done. Usually, politicians, they'll say something and it'll sort of waver on for years and years or whatever it is, and it may never get done. And so he's delivered so much. I mean, we have the Supreme Court justices. We now have him really getting into the economy as far as trade deals, which is what he campaigned on, right? We have the immigration, him winning on the immigration. We have, I mean, you could go down. There's many other things that he's signed. Executive orders. He got rid of the individual mandate is now gone for Obamacare, which was a disaster. I mean, you should not have to be penalized for not having health insurance, and that's exactly what the individual mandate was. So, all of these things, when you put them together and you see how many things have been accomplished, it's really quite impressive, to be honest with you, to actually get all of these clowns to work together in Congress and just in politics in general. And it's unfortunate because even on the right side of politics, the conservative side, we still have some people that have to go. Okay, we know that there are people in here that claim to be Republicans, claim to be on the right, claim to be conservatives that have to go. They've had to go for a long time. They're just, I don't know how they've stayed in office as long as they have, but they got to go. And then when you talk about all of these radical left-wing nuts, I mean, they got to go too. So, I mean, the problem is that they've really figured out how to rig elections pretty good. They know how to, I mean, they just know how to manipulate the system. They've been doing it for years. The Democrats have been manipulating the system for years, busing people in from state to state, illegal aliens voting in states because of the policies that they institute. I mean, they're in California. They actually have someone, if I'm not mistaken, who is a elected official who is actually an illegal immigrant or an illegal alien, really. Forget the word immigrant, illegal alien. So how can you have that? How can you have somebody in an elected position who is an illegal alien? And I'm almost positive that that's the case, because I remember a while back there was a video that I saw on Facebook or wherever it was, and it had shown that there was something else. I couldn't pull up the site, but there was a study done, guys, and you can search it, Google it. But the research shows that people are spending 25% less on Facebook. Okay, so 25% less time on Facebook. Now, I can tell you I've spent less time on Facebook for sure, for a number of different reasons. One is they deleted my account, which really pissed me off, okay? The other is they've redesigned everything. I don't really like the way they've done it. I don't like their new algorithms. I've never liked their algorithms as they continue to change them. They've really know how to get things, down. The only cool thing about it is they have those little episode things or whatever, which is okay, but it's kind of like whatever. But people are spending less time on it because it's a bunch of trash, and they're tired of seeing trash. They're tired of seeing a bunch of stupidness on Facebook. Plain and simple. I mean, how else do you explain it? 25%, less time spent on Facebook. For them, that's a bad thing, but I can tell you I spent way less than that, just for the simple fact that Facebook is like they're the worst. Okay, it's probably a tie between them and Google, who is the worst offenders of things. But Facebook is like one of the worst, and unfortunately, there's so many people on it, and it's been around for a while, and it does have some cool features. Like, don't get me wrong, it does have cool features, but they're so quick to remove conservatives and to silence conservatives. So is Twitter, so is YouTube, so are all of them. The reason why I dislike Facebook the most is because that's the one that personally affects me. Okay, so they deleted my page that I worked very hard to build, and it wasn't just me who helped build it. It was a bunch of people, a lot of people behind the scenes. But the fact that people are spending 25% less time is show. I don't know exactly what the reasons are. I can only tell you from my own experience. I'm tired of getting banned for making a post about sharing a T-shirt or whatever it was that I was banned for over the period of times. I've had many of them. I'm tired of, there's a lot of stuff I'm tired about, but it is what it is. But I can tell you those are the reasons why I've spent less time on it. So that statistic, I'm sure, is actually accurate, wherever that comes from, whatever the study was. I don't remember it, but look it up. You'll see what the story is. And then the last real thing I just wanted to kind of talk about right here is, hopefully I can stop this garbage. There we go. I hate those ads. It's so annoying. So this whole thing with Korea, North Korea, South Korea, apparently they are going to have some kind of talks, that Trump and Kim Jong-un are going to have some type of sit down or communication of some kind. I don't know. But it says that President Trump will meet by May of this year. So according to that, it means that they would meet in person. Now, I don't know where that would be. It says face-to-face. So there it is, face-to-face meeting. And I don't know if there's that much. All these people on the left, they get so frantic. Oh, Trump's going to cause World War III. And, oh, everybody's going to die. And, oh, Trump care is going to kill millions. And they're so pathetic, right? I mean, how is it that he now is open to these things? Now, listen, I don't necessarily trust Kim Jong-un all the way. He's not such a trustworthy guy. But if this is what he's saying, I mean, what is he going to try to do? What is he really going to try to do? I mean, the pressure is on him, and it's starting to all I will tell you is people have been moved around, and they've been told to go to certain places, and there are people at places of allies of the United States, which are extremely close to North Korea. So you figure that one out. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say what it is. I'll let you guys figure it out. Shouldn't be too hard to figure it out, but there you go. So this should be interesting, and it says by May, so it's only a couple months away, really, and we could see maybe some. I mean, I don't know how that's actually going to go because North Korea is like really oppressive of a country, but we shall see. There's never a dull moment in the Trump presidency. I can assure you of that. There is never a dull moment. I'm always looking forward to hearing what the next thing is. What's the newest thing that happened? What's the latest thing that the liberals are finding out about that they're making an uproar? It's quiet. Proves how corrupt the left is. So, I mean, it is what it is. But once again, guys, I just want to let you know you can follow us in other places. And let me pull this up, guys. This is our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Patriot Media. You can do $1 a month, whatever it is you want to do. It helps us out greatly to expand the operation and really just try to step it up. I'm always trying to improve. If anybody who's been following me from the beginning, they have seen from how I started to where I am now and the progression that we are going in the direction that we are going as well. So, and it's also kind of cool. I do put some posts on there. I need to interact with it more, but I'm a one-man, show over here as it is right now. I got people behind the scenes, but in order to be able to make posts everywhere, that can be a little complicated. Here we go. So again, guys, YouTube as well. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching this live or on replay. Also, make sure you hit that bell. We've got a bunch of videos up here, a bunch of videos from the past as well, or the at Patriot Media 2. That's how you can look it up directly by the name. And then we got Twitter. We're also on Twitter. I mess around with Twitter a little bit. We're also on Periscope. Everything's going down the screen, guys. This is our Gab page. Again, head over there. Sign up for Gab if you haven't. It's a great social media platform. Free speech. Won't get banned. And our Instagram, guys, we got that as well. So JG Patriot Media on Instagram. I post a lot of stuff on there. What I've really started doing is I'm finding people, I just find posts from usually people that, I don't know, that don't seem to have a lot of followers, and I'll repost their post and they get tagged in it. And I've just been finding some cool ones. I usually find one or two a day or one a day, and I'll make other posts. I'll do little Instagram lives or stuff like that. It's fun. It is what it is. It's Instagram. It's not as depressing as Facebook can get. You know what I mean? Facebook is depressing. I don't know. I don't mess with it that much anymore. I mean, I do my live streams and I do my page, and we're going back to page. But as far as scrolling through stuff and reading a bunch of stuff and watching other people's videos, and I just don't have time for it. And I look for certain people, and I'll go in and I'll like stuff, and I'll pop into a video here and there, and I'll comment, but I really just don't have the time for it. And a lot of it is just the stuff that's going on is kind of ridiculous with some of the circles that I was in before. And there's also some good stuff going on too with some other individuals. You've got it both. And so at Patriot Media, I'm just committed to doing my own thing over here and collaborating with other individuals like Ronnie Cameron, like we had Ronnie Cameron on. You know, I'll bring in guests. We'll have like Joe Geneva. We'll have a lot of different guests. Now that I have this new format and we're able to really make it fun, I can get websites, bring videos up. I could do all kinds of things. So the future here at Patriot Media is looking really good. Again, guys, patreon.com/Patriot Media. And with that, I'm going to sign off, and I will hopefully I'm going to try to do a live stream tomorrow. Not tomorrow night. It'll probably be in the middle of the day, possibly early afternoon time. But I'm going to try to come on here, hop on. We can see what's going on, and just kind of hang out together and talk about current events and everything that's happening. So with that, guys, have a good night, and thank you so much for watching and sharing. And thank you all for also being a patron and just supporting us in general by just getting our stuff out there. So thanks a lot, and we'll talk soon. Have a good